Hi my lovely people, welcome back to another fabulous fragrance video. I have for you the long-awaited EBK Paris Fragrance House review. I am going to review and rank many EBK Paris house fragrances in this video. I will tell you all about each and every fragrance and I will attempt to rank them, although it's going to be difficult because, spoiler alert, the fragrances from this house are absolutely divine, you guys. It's been very difficult. It was a very difficult task for me to try to rank these fragrances. So at the end, it came down to, okay, what do I love slightly a little bit more, you know? So yeah, I have nonetheless ranked these fragrances, then I will tell you all about them. And I have something very exciting. I have a giveaway, EBK Paris giveaway. I have collaborated with the EBK Paris Fragrance House to give you a couple of their divine fragrances. So stay tuned until the end of the video to find out how to enter the giveaway. I will give you all the details about how to enter the giveaway at the end of the video, so watch the video until the end to find out. And I'll also let you know at the end of the video how to order these fragrances, all the information that you need to know. Now if you want to see what these EBK Paris fragrances are and hear my thoughts on them, I have 7 of them that I'm going to review for you. Just stay tuned. My favorite EBK Paris fragrance, #1 spot, definitely goes to Ruby N Vanilla Oud. Oh my god. This fragrance is so unique. It blew my mind. It's really hard to have my mind blown. At this point, I have pretty much sniffed every fragrance under the sun. There are a few fragrance houses that consistently blow my mind. And this was one of the instances that my mind was blown. This fragrance right here. I kept the box, although I've been using this. I kept the box because I really like to keep them kind of protected. This is what it looks like in the box, you guys. Isn't this the best presentation with this book kind of style presentation? I absolutely adore the design of the bottle as well, and I love this color. And the word ruby really draws me in because ruby is my favorite. It's my birthstone and it's my favorite color, red. So I'm very drawn to this very, very much. Now this fragrance, you guys, I am actually not going to spray any of these fragrances except maybe the ones that are in little samples. I'll spray them, but the ones that are in bottles, I'm not going to spray because they are super strong. I can smell over here, okay? One thing about EBK Paris House, before I even get started, is that you get the bang for your buck. These fragrances will last you a lifetime, like not literally, you know. They last forever on my skin and clothes. Oh my gosh, you do not want to overspray these because they will project like crazy. They will last like crazy. These last until after I shower, you guys. I mean, I could wear this all day and then I'd shower and it would still be on my skin. On skin, not even clothes. Now on clothes, it takes, I think, a couple of washes for it to kind of completely disappear. It will be there until you wash your clothes, pretty much. So you get the money's worth in terms of longevity, projection, and sillage. Boy, do they leave an intoxicating sillage. And I will get to the compliments here in a minute, but oh my gosh, this fragrance is the most unique, divine, luxurious, sophisticated vanilla fragrance ever. And it's not your typical vanilla at all. This has this luxurious velvety notes or velvet note. Either it's a synthetic note that smells like velvet, which would have to be synthetic because it's not velvet is a fabric, you know what I mean? So either it's a very high quality note that smells like velvet, the fabric, the luxurious fabric, or there are velvety, several velvety notes that give it this scent of velvet, okay? So it's just amazing. It smells like a very luxurious, very expensive velvet gown, velvet dress. It has that sort of warm and fuzzy quality of that beautiful velvet. It reminds me of Versailles, you guys. When my husband and I went to Paris, we went to Versailles, and in Versailles there were all these amazing, luxurious velvet drapery, you know, like velvet drapes. That's what this reminds me of. It takes me to Louis XIV's palace and those luxurious velvet drapes. Inspiration for this fragrance was actually the French opera house. So no wonder, it makes perfect sense. It's like me thinking of the Versailles, right? And that's in that French opera house, you see this beautiful velvet drapes, you know, like that's exactly perfect. That's actually, I can see how that was the inspiration. The moment I smelled this, my mind went to Versailles and the velvet drapes. So I can understand. It's an absolutely luxurious fragrance that smells very different from anything I've ever smelled. It's very original. I just love the way this fragrance makes me feel, makes me smell, of course, but the way it makes me feel. I wore this to go see Cirque du Soleil, which was a perfect occasion. I wore it to many a dinners we went out to. Although, you know, that wasn't the grand occasion I wanted to wear it to, but I want to wear it more often than just to go to the theater or to the opera, right? I don't go to the opera every day, but we are going to the opera here very soon. I am, guess what my scent of the night going to be? This one right here. We have to get babysitters. They're hard to find, but if we actually had my parents here and if they were watching the kids, we would be going out to the opera a lot more often, trust me. So this is my favorite out of the entire EBK Paris lineup. So some of the other notes in this fragrance are Sicilian mandarin, there's bergamot, there's goic wood. This is quite woody as well. Did I forget to tell you that? Yes, it's a very kind of woody vanilla for sure. The vanilla in here is Madagascar vanilla, which is a very good type of vanilla. It has, what else does it have? It's a little bit of patchouli, although not the dirty, earthy, too earthy kind of patchouli, but patchouli that's right there in the background, just giving the fragrance strength. It is top quality, highest quality, luxurious niche fragrance, and it's niche in its true sense because it's very rare, very unique. Not very many people will be wearing this scent, and you will stand out whenever you go out and wearing this fragrance. Yes, it is a compliment getter, very much so. When I went to Cirque du Soleil, I got a compliment from the woman sitting behind me when during like the break, she tapped on my shoulder and said, "You smell very good, by the way." I was like, well, thank you so much. This is a compliment getter. My husband loves it. He thinks it smells absolutely elegant and expensive and luxurious, just like I do. I think the same of this. So my favorite #1 fragrance is Ruby N Vanilla Oud. This may shock some of you because there are a lot of fans for my #3 fragrance from the lineup. So many of you would be kind of shocked that I like this one more than the one I'm going to talk about next. I surprised myself actually, but this is really up my alley, I should say. And there is something surprising, something else surprising about this fragrance I will tell you here in a second. But my second favorite from the house is EBK Paris Moonstone N Tuberose. You guys, this is newer to my collection. And this is what it looks like inside. Do you see it? It's the kind of the frosted white glass bottle that you can see the juice through. And you get a black little booklet here. And I love how they're, you know, all about attention to detail. You know, like they match the booklet color to the fragrance. And that's the kind of detail that I look for. I want those details for the price I'm paying, right? So I'm glad. This fragrance was my scent of the day yesterday, and it's still in my hair. It's still in my hair. It was on my skin after I took the shower. It's still on my clothes that I haven't washed still since yesterday. It's probably going to be like that. If I, let's say, keep those dirty clothes for another week, it'll be on it. I am pretty sure of it. And projection is amazing. To the point that I was wearing this. The first day I wore this, I was wearing it. I was downstairs. My husband came down from upstairs. And he entered our living room. And I was in the living room, but in the middle of the living room. But as he entered the living room, he said, "Ooh, what's that scent? Are you wearing something new? That smells good." Immediately. I mean, it had filled our very large living room with this scent. Like the room was thick with this perfume. Like it filled the room. That's how strong and powerful this fragrance is. Oh yeah, and it will last. And the sillage, it'll drag people with it. I'm telling you, enormous sillage. Oh, this is a white floral fragrance, but hold on a second. It's not your average white floral fragrance at all. I kind of understand what they mean by moonstone. Yes, this has that sort of, I don't know, like a opulence about it that is like a beautiful gemstone. You know, it's difficult. Sometimes you feel something, but you can't really put them into words. You know what I mean? This is a gorgeous, 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 very seductive, alluring white floral, you guys. It's not a white floral like Rouge Malachite, which is also gorgeous, very hypnotic white floral, as you know, very narcotic. But it's not exactly that. This one is very like alluring and seductive in a very kind of sexy way, you know. The inspiration, by the way, for this fragrance is the blooming seasons in Spain. You know, Spain has different blooming seasons, and especially in particular the blooming season for tuberose, which is summertime. And in summertime, you know, there are street people selling flowers on the streets in every street corner. So that's kind of the inspiration for this fragrance. This is a very sort of alluring, seductive kind of white floral. And this has tuberose, obviously. Beautiful, very beautiful tuberose, but you don't get that bubblegummy aspect of tuberose at all in this fragrance. There's no bubblegum really. This is rather a different, more seductive aspect of tuberose, if that makes sense. Probably because of the well-blended composition with the other white florals. There is gardenia in here. There's jasmine. You can smell them. I will tell you though, to me, I smell osmanthus in this fragrance. They may not have revealed osmanthus as a note, but I could almost swear I smell osmanthus in this fragrance. As you guys know, osmanthus is not usually my favorite floral. It depends on the composition. Now, I absolutely do not like osmanthus in Good Girl Gone Bad, the original. I love the osmanthus, or I don't mind the osmanthus in Good Girl Gone Bad Extreme, right? It all depends. But normally, as a rule of thumb, I'm not like a huge fan of osmanthus if it's like a very strong note. It's not strong in here, but I smell the osmanthus. But for some reason, it doesn't bother me in this, you guys, at all. Because it's a very sexy fragrance with whatever the other notes that are in this composition. There's a little hint of velvety notes in here as well, which I think adds that sort of luxurious touch, but not exactly like it is in Ruby and Vanilla Oud tones, where I described the velvety notes in there as almost like a velvety garment. No, not in the same sense. But this has something luxurious in it that I can't quite put my finger on. This has a little bit of vetiver, which adds that little sort of comforting bit of, I don't know, like an earthy touch to it. This also has Angelica. Now, Angelica smells a little bit, slight bit green, bit rooty. You know, it's kind of like a rooty kind of thing. How do I describe it? It has a little bit of a rooty green kind of scent. So that may be what I'm smelling that smells kind of similar to osmanthus when blended with the white florals. I don't know, because Angelica could lean that way, could give out that scent when I think about it actually. This has loads of white musk that makes it smell so sexy. You guys know how I feel about musk. I always say, what do I always say? You OGs know what I say always about musk. Musk is a must, absolute must. So this has loads and blast of musk when you spray this. It's so sexy, so fashionable, so sophisticated, so alluring, sexy. Oh my gosh, you guys, I got compliments with this as well. This is very new to my collection and I've only worn it twice, and I wore it to work, which maybe I shouldn't have because it was strong. No, it didn't choke people, that's not what I mean, but they could smell me miles away. When you're at work, you don't want to be announced too much. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, sometimes you don't want to be too noticed at work. You know, you kind of want to be left alone. Oh, this will get you noticed. If you have colleagues you don't want to see, you don't want them to notice you walk past, that's not going to happen. They're going to be like, who just walked by? Who smells like that? That's going to happen. So I got compliments. I got 2 compliments at work. My husband, did I tell you that? He loved it. He was mesmerized. He absolutely loved the scent of this. And he said, wow, that smells amazing. You smell so sexy. So very, very, very sexy fragrance. I actually had a hard time picking which one I liked more, Ruby and Vanilla Oud tones or this, but I had to give it to Ruby and Vanilla Oud tones just because it was my first love from the house, and there's something just a little bit extra about that fragrance that I absolutely adore. So yeah, this is EBK Paris Moonstone N Tuberose. Okay, so now we come to my third favorite. I'm gonna call all of these third favorite, fourth favorite, fifth favorite, because there's not one that I don't love. But anyway, so my third favorite, and it is actually my third full bottle of EBK Paris fragrances that I have. Yes, you guessed it. It is EBK Paris Deep and Desire Yacht. You all know how much I love this fragrance. I did a full review of it, and here is the beautiful sapphire looking bottle. It looks like a beautiful gem, like a sapphire, you know, in there. Such a beautiful presentation. I absolutely love their packaging. I love their bottles. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I love the fact that it's this same bottle in these gorgeous jewel colors that carry these beautiful juices. I did a full review of this fragrance. Like I said, I will link it up here and down in the description box. Also, I forgot to tell you, if you missed it, I did a full review of Ruby and Vanilla Oud tones as well. I'll link that up here and down in the description box. Probably I will link it when I was talking about that fragrance, so it was probably towards the beginning of the video. So yeah, I did a full review of this as well. So this is what the bottle looks like. This is Deep and Desire Yacht. This is a very innovative gourmand, you guys. Oh my gosh, this smells... Woo! Woo, so good. I mean, I can smell it over here. Now, the inspiration for this fragrance is the History Supreme, which is the most expensive yacht in the world that actually has gold, 10,000 kilograms of gold on it. Okay, the exterior of the boat, there's gold, you guys. I will put a picture right here. Majestic yacht. I don't want to quite call it like marine vibes, but not even sea vibes. But I get the inspiration. When you smell it, you know. Okay. Now, before I even get into notes, let me tell you something. Several of you have messaged me, well, when I did the full review of this, or when I announced that I would do a full review of it, several of you messaged me and asked me if it smells like a blueberry muffin. No, it does not, I promise you, smell like a blueberry muffin. Okay, it smells very luxurious. It kind of reminds me of being aboard, or gives me the picture of being aboard a ship like Titanic. Like Titanic was the most luxurious ship in 1912, right? In that year. But the equivalent of that today, actually, I think more in the 1900s, actually, or the 1800s. The grandeur then, like, you know, inside a board with all those gorgeous, you know, like 1900 decor, right? That's kind of where my mind goes. It takes me to that sort of dining scene, you know, in Titanic, for example, of all the high society people going fully dressed to dinner every night, and those dinners, you know, people sitting around the decadent chocolate desserts that they were eating. That's the kind of vibes this is giving me. That kind of gourmet. And then you're aware you're in a ship, you can smell the sea, you can, you know, you're in this luxurious boat. You get what I mean. That's the feeling this gives. I think I'm describing it as accurate as I can possibly describe it. This has a very prominent black grape note, which I think is absolutely delicious. It is very juicy, it's dark, it's sultry, it's a little, I wouldn't say plummy, but you know, like that same sort of juicy, dark, grapey vibes, right? It almost gives me kind of blackberry vibe too, but it's more black grape, okay? And this has some pink pepper, which is a very happy kind of soft spice when you first spray. There's some grapefruit, so there's a citrusiness in the opening, and then that actually lasts almost towards the end of the middle of the fragrance, you know, like almost to the dry down. And then this has hazelnut and dark chocolate, you know, in the base. And a little bit of woodiness, you know, from, I think, cedarwood. This is just a very luxurious scent, but it makes me think of a luxurious cruise dinner type of vibe. Yeah, that's the kind of vibe it gives me. This one is an absolute star in performance. Absolutely, I don't want to call things beast mode because it gives you the wrong idea. It's it lasts forever until after you shower. It'll be on your skin. Clothes until you wash, maybe even after. It will leave the most intoxicating sillage. Lasts forever, like 12 hours plus. And it is a compliment getter as well. Most of you have actually told me you get a lot of compliments with this fragrance. Yes, I do get compliments. I wore this to dinner, like a couple of high-end restaurants that we've been to. I wore this. I've gotten compliments from the hostess, the waiters. Absolutely stunning. My husband loves it too. Very delicious. This is Deep and Desire. I don't really know honestly how to rank these fragrances because these top four I love almost very equally, okay? So the only like one that I have a little more, I guess the soft spot for is Ruby N Vanilla Oud because that's like so unique and it's like the first one I fell in love with from the house. But then there is also Ruby N Vanilla Neroli. Oh my gosh, you guys, this one is another beast mode, if you want to call it that, fragrance that Oh my God, like again, I can smell it over here. I am not going to spray this. This is another one that I can smell from the atomizer, so I am not even going to spray it. And by the way, how awesome is that they have the same cap that they have for the big full bottles, right? The 100 ml. So this one is a, I guess if you want to call it a flanker maybe to the original Ruby and Vanilla. This is the Ruby and Vanilla Neroli. Now this one is a lot more citrusy, so the citrusy notes are more prominent. Like the Neroli, as the name suggests, is very prominent white floral in here, citrusy white floral. There's bergamot, obviously I expected it to have bergamot. This has other beautiful kind of citrusy florals, if you will. There's orange blossom, which is the blossom of the orange, you know. There is a bit of powderiness in this fragrance that comes from oriental powders. So it's a very kind of delicate oriental smelling powder scent that you have in this fragrance. There is loads and loads of vanilla. You can smell the vanilla. There's a bit of almond, adding a slight gourmand hint to that vanilla, like an additional layer. There's a little bit of almondiness that really works very well in this composition with the citruses and everything. Now in the base, this has amber. I can tell because amber complements vanilla very, very much. There's a hint of lavender, which I think that's in the maybe like the middle of the fragrance. There's a little bit of lavender adding that sort of herbally sexiness to this fragrance. Now this has woody notes in the base, especially the oud. The oud is prominent. You can smell the oud, especially on the dry down. This oud comes forward. The woody base is very prominent with that oud note, I would say. There is a lot of musk. There is a hint of patchouli in this fragrance. Yeah, it is an absolute stunner. It sort of has a little bit of the Ruby and Vanilla DNA, but it goes in a bit of a different direction, in a more citrusy, woody kind of direction. The Neroli is absolutely stunning in this fragrance. I think that's what stands out very much. Beautiful fragrance. Again, another beast mode, if you want to call it, performer. This lasts forever, until after I shower, on my skin, on the clothes, until you wash them, or even after. Yes, it leaves a long, intoxicating sillage. Ruby and Vanilla Intense and Deep and Desire Yacht I would recommend for colder months and nighttime wear. Definitely nighttime fragrances, I would say. And Moonstone N Tuberose, you can wear daytime, but keep in mind that this is very, very, very strong, very projecting, enormous sillage fragrance. So you want to wear it in the colder months, I would say. Yes, you could probably pull it off in the summer on cooler days, maybe cooler nights. You could wear it nighttime too, because it's a very strong fragrance. But I recommend that you wear, starting now, this fall, you know, through winter, through spring. That's better for Moonstone N Tuberose during the day, okay? Now this one, Ruby and Vanilla Neroli, same as Moonstone N Tuberose. I would say start in the colder months, early fall to late spring, and that's it. I would not necessarily recommend this for summer, warm, hot summer days. Yeah, this is a Ruby and Vanilla Neroli, another stunner from this fragrance house. So for number 5 spot, I picked Aquamarine N Powder by EBK. Now at this point, I'm going to start spraying these, because these are, well, actually, wow, I can't smell them even through this small sample atomizer, but I will spray it just for the sake of it, because it's a sample bottle. Now this one is a very pleasant powdery scent. I absolutely think it smells beautiful, delicate, fresh, in a kind of like a fresh way. It almost has this, but more than anything, it's very powdery. I mean, no wonder it's called Aquamarine N Powder. Now, the reason why I love this fragrance is because it has this sexy herbaliness about it, you guys. It's got this beautiful, elegant, sophisticated powderiness about it. There are some powdery florals. There's iris, I believe, in here. maybe some orchid as well, not necessarily a powdery floral, but you know, a floral nonetheless. There's some pink pepper in the opening. There's some sensual sandalwood. This dry down is very sensual because of the woody sandalwood. There is, again, that herbaliness that comes from the lavender. I absolutely love lavender as a herbal note. You guys, herbal notes can be super sexy. I love the little hint of lavender in here. And then there is a little bit of passion fruit in this fragrance. But that passion fruit is not like something you can pinpoint to. You can't be like, oh, that's passion fruit. Because these compositions are blended so well. What you smell the most in this fragrance, in the opening, is that powderiness, okay? You smell the powderiness right away, the pink pepper. And then you smell the very strong musk, by the way, in the base. And you smell that herbally sexiness from the lavender. And you smell in the base mostly that sensual woody base with that heavy dose of musk that's absolutely sexy. There's something very kind of sweet, fruity, powdery about this fragrance. It's a little bit fresh. There's a freshness to this fragrance. Very kind of aromatic from the lavender. Anytime you get lavender in a fragrance, it's going to smell very aromatic. It's going to give that aromatic, herbally sexiness to fragrance. It has that freshness about this fragrance. Absolutely love this also, but I'm going to have to rank this in number 5 spot just because I love the other ones a little bit more. So Aquamarine N Powder. In number 6 spot, I have here with me EBK Paris Alexandrite N Patchouli. This one, Now, I love patchouli, you guys. I don't mind patchouli at all. But if you are one of those people who are intimidated by patchouli, then don't go for this. But I tell you, the patchouli in here smells delicious. Like the patchouli in Kriegler, lovely patchouli 55 Night. That deliciousness, yes, that's the deliciousness that is this patchouli. So let me spray this a bit, although I can smell it from the atomizer very, very much. The juice of this fragrance, by the way, if you have the large bottle, is so gorgeous. It's got this like sort of greenish hue. It's like, oh, so good. It is a very kind of musky patchouli fragrance. That patchouli, yes, you can smell the patchouli. So like I said, if you absolutely can't stand any kind of patchouli, no matter how good it smells, well, maybe it's not for you, but you guys, I absolutely love patchouli. I think patchouli is very misunderstood. Sometimes it's just the composition. It's not really patchouli's fault. Again, beast mode. I hate using those two words, but you know, like very strong performance, very long lasting, super long lasting. I'm not going to repeat the same as everything I've mentioned so far. So yes, a large dose of patchouli. You get a little bit of that luxurious leather in here. That's sexy. That adds that expensive touch to the fragrance. There's a little bit of like cotton flower apparently in here, which I don't know how that would smell at all, but I can kind of imagine when I smell this. Yeah, it's powdery from the orris in here. There's some mimosa, some galbanum. There's a hint of, I think, citruses too. There's actually a linen note that I can actually smell, you guys. I can see it. It smells like a little bit like linen too. Huge dose of musk that makes it smell quite sexy. Yeah, I love patchouli, so I don't mind the patchouli, so I like it. So this one is Alexandrite and Patchouli in the number 6th spot. Last but not least, and again, this comes last only because there's been something even better here. That doesn't mean I hate this. I love it also, even in the last spot, okay? Now this one is Ruby N Vanilla Oud. Now this one, you would wonder, wait, her favorite is Ruby N Vanilla Ontons, but Ruby N Vanilla Oud is her least favorite? Well guys, like I said, I love all of them. I think the reason why this is in last place is because I already have a love with similar scent profile. It's actually a little bit different, this one, but even better, I already love, and I have it already, and I love it already, and it's in the first place. I would rather appreciate the other ones with different compositions that's even more different. So yeah, that's probably the only reason why this is last. Again, you can smell it out of the atomizer, but I'll spray for you. There's an oud note. The difference is the oud in here is very, very prominent. There's a very prominent oudy note in here. It's a very woody vanilla, just like the Entente, Ruby and Vanilla Entente, but that one has other notes that are more of the stars. This one is a little bit different, you guys. Even though it's called the same thing, kind of like the similar name, this goes in a more of a like a oud oriental kind of a direction. It's giving me this like sort of dark oud vibes, you know, oriental dark rose oud a little bit. It's giving me, and yes, it has some of the notes like vanilla as the original. It's got like guaiac wood, for example, similar to the Ententes in here that it shares, but this has that, you know, agar wood or the oud in here that stands out more, I think. And this has some powderiness to it. There's some ambergris in here, and then this has a lot of musk. I think it's black musk that's in here. Yeah, this is beautiful and very like dark, in a very dark way, very dark oriental way. You know, it's, you know how the Ententes, Ruby and Vanilla Ententes, my #1 spot. You know how that reminds me of like Louis XIV and all that, the palace and the opera house. Whereas this one goes in a kind of different direction. It's more oriental leaning because of the oud. You know, it's still very luxurious, but oriental luxurious, you know, kind of slightly Middle Eastern vibes to it in a way. This definitely does have that rose oud vibes, which this has rose. So it has that oriental rose oud vibes a lot, like a more. And whereas the Ruby and Vanilla Ententes, oh gosh, didn't I forget to mention in the Ruby and Vanilla Ententes, yes, there's rose in it too, but it's a very velvety, like velvet red rose in that I smell. I think it has rose. I think of a very beautiful red rose with velvety petals with that one, but that makes me think of like French elegance, you know, French luxury, you know what I mean? Whereas this one is more of the oriental luxury. So yeah, very oriental scent. I would say Ruby and Vanilla Oud in my #7 spot. Does not mean I hate it, doesn't mean I don't love it. I do love it too. And did I mention again performance? Yes, yes, yes. Excellent performance. Now I haven't worn obviously these 3 sample ones very much out. I've only tested them in the house because I don't have full bottles for these. So I couldn't tell you about compliments on these, unfortunately. Yes, the Neroli, did I forget to mention the Neroli? Yes, is a compliment getter. My husband loves it too. And these are all unisex fragrances, if I forgot to mention that. So that is my review, my full house review of the EBK Paris fragrance house. It's a niche fragrance house. As you all know, it's one of the most unique, amazing niche fragrance house discoveries that I have made. So I want to tell you first, before I get to the details of the giveaway, if you want to order any of these fragrances, they have a different system than anything that you're used to perhaps. They don't really take orders on their website. So there are a couple of ways you can order their fragrances. You can write to EBK Paris to the email address info@ebkparfums.com, which I will put all this information down in the description box for you guys. Or you can contact them via social media, Instagram or Facebook. If you have difficulty getting a hold of them via Instagram or Facebook, which I never had a difficulty, I ordered mine, the ones that I ordered them on Facebook. And I got an immediate response, immediately. And they sent me an invoice, asked me what I wanted. They sent me an invoice. I paid the invoice and they shipped them out to me like immediately. And I received them in a matter of just a few days. So if you have any trouble via, let's say, social media, then email them. So I have collaborated with the EBK Paris Fragrance House to give you all 2 lucky winners these gorgeous deluxe fragrance bottles. This one is Deep and Desire Yacht, and this one is Ruby and Vanilla Oud, two of my favorites. Two winners, so I will give one to one and the other one to the other. So I will select two winners. One will get one, the other one will get the other. And I will announce the winner within a week of this video, which means next Saturday, not this Saturday that the video is going up, but next Saturday. Now, to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is follow my Instagram page. It is at Ceylon Cleo, no spaces. And then also follow EBK Perfumes on Instagram and tag 3 to 5 of your friends under that giveaway post that I'm going to post on Instagram. I'm going to announce this giveaway on my Instagram page, and in there, under that giveaway post, you should comment on Instagram, tag 3 to 5 of your friends. And please also don't forget to leave me a comment on this video as well. Leave me a comment on this video about what you think of these fragrances, anything you want to say, and then say, hey, I would like to enter the giveaway. I'm going to leave a comment on your Instagram account as well. And then head over there and just say, you know, tag 3 to 5 people and just say, I would like to enter the giveaway. I almost forgot to mention, this giveaway will be just for those of you who are in the US or has a US address, because it's difficult to ship fragrances internationally. So it will be a USA only giveaway, you guys. Don't be disheartened, because I'll have other giveaways that are, you know, a little bit different for international giveaways. But this giveaway in particular would be for those of you who are here in the US only. Thank you for EBK Paris for collaborating with me on this giveaway. So yes, that is how you enter the giveaway, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and you watch my videos all the time. You need to subscribe, especially now that I've changed my upload schedule. You do need to follow me so that you will never miss any of my videos, because you could forget. That way you get a notification, you know, when you ring the notification bell next to it. By the way, subscribe, but also ring the notification bell so that you will actually get notifications, otherwise you won't. Of course, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and I have just started a TikTok account, so please do go over there and follow me there as well. I appreciate you all, and I will see you guys in my next video, which will be uploaded when? Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on the new schedule. I will see you then.